Hello there, this is Patricia from Pinky's World, and today I'm making the tiniest little candle gift box. It is so cute, so tiny, and it's perfect for me because I like to slip them into a bag with card orders. So this is just a wee, I have loads of these and I need to really use them up. I'm patiently waiting on the stuff arriving from the pre-order, and I thought I better get to play with something. So I have these. This is the already in colours, that's here already. And this one is Parakeet Party. So it matched my candle perfectly. I punched a wee hole. I made a wee opener, and at the bottom I've just put, pull the little candle out. It says in there for you and a couple of hearts. So nothing too drastic, really simple but so tiny and cute. And I have a wee brad in here. If you have brads, it's a good way to use them up. So if you fancy knowing how to make one, here is what you're going to need. I'm going to go with this colour this time because I have this colour candle as well. So this one is called Sweet Sorbet, and you just need a tiny wee bit. It's great for using up your scraps. I'm using the matching in colour papers. As you can see, I used the Parakeet one there, and I'm using the Sweet Sorbet one. So it's really tiny. Get yourself a piece of card that measures 3 inches by 5 1/4. Simple as that. And we're going to score down the short side. We're going to score at 3/4 of an inch on both sides. So that's 2 1/4. And then spin it round, and you want to score it at 3/4. I forgot to write the measurements down. Twit. So 3/4 of an inch. Then we want to go 1 1/2 inches. So there's your half, and there's your 1. So 2 1/4. Should write that down, shouldn't I? Because I'll never remember when I go to tell you. Score short at 3/4 of an inch. And what was it I said? 2 1/4. And score long at 3/4. And then we went to 2 1/4. And now we're going to do another 3/4 of an inch. That's 1, 2, 3. It's 3 1/4. That's too long, isn't it? Get yourself on, Patricia. 3 inches. So we'll write that down. And then we need to go again 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. 1, 2, 3. So that's 4. And I can't read it in this light. I have a new light hanging up here, and it's blinding me, but it's better for you. 4 1/2 inches. 4 1/2. So we'll call them out again just to make sure I haven't confused you. You score at 3/4 of an inch and 2 1/4 on your short side. On this side, we're going to go at 3/4, 2 1/4, 3 inches, and 4 1/2, and that's your scoring done. So we'll just do our cuts and then our scores. So we're going to cut the first. This will be the front of your box. And we're just going to cut it in a bit, and we're going to chop it in there and do the same on this side. And on the outside. Then these center ones just cut up. And tail it in. And we'll do the same here. Well, we'll just stick to the same, won't we? In there. In there. So repeat that on your other side as well. Right, you've gone ahead and done that. Before you do any burnishing, stick your DSP on. And for your DSP, you need 2 pieces. This size is 1 3/8 by 1 3/8, and then you need 4 pieces by 1/2 inch by 1 3/8 wide for all your wee borders. So we'll just stick those in place. Clear some gunk off my glue here. So just center them in your square. squares. And then we're just going to stick these wee ones, 1, 2, 3. Well, decide which one's your front. You only need 3 of them. Oh, you know, you need 4 for your centre. So this is going to be my front, right? So I'm going to stick 1, 2, 3, 4. So you should have all that stuck, and now you want to cut a wee hole in the front part so that, oh sugar, hope I didn't stop that. So your candle shows through like so. So I've gone with a very small wee die cut, just 1 1/4, 1 1/8 inch really. It's smaller than the candle, which is what I want. I just want it to peep through. So you want to center that in the front where you think it looks good and stick it down. We're just going to pop it in here. Quick cut. This is the lovely colour I'm waiting on at the minute, the boho blue. I've ordered a nice pack of paper that has it in it and the card. So hopefully, are you going to go through? Come on, what's wrong with you? I'm all over the show. There we go. So I didn't bother burnishing, as I say, because I was going to flatten them out anyway doing this, you know, so no point. So after you cut your hole, we'll do the burnishing. So pop that out, and that gives you your nice wee hole to put them in. So we'll start doing our burnishing. Glue stuck to me everywhere. Nearly there. So our wee box has taken shape now. If you want to do your sentiment, punch out a bit of scrap paper. I'm using an old punch. This was 1 3/8 scallop punch. It's no longer available, but we all have punches, land. It doesn't have to be circle. It can be square, rectangle, whatever. If you want to add your wee sentiment, now's the time to stick it on your box. Get it out of the way. So I'll do one thing at a time. So this one is for you. It's out of the Country Bouquet, which is carrying forward this year, which is good, into the new catalogue, which is now live. If you haven't had a look at it, go and see if there's anything tickled your fancy. There's lots of really different new stuff this year. Not their normal piles and piles of flowers. There is actually some nice different items that you might be interested in for a wee change. So I'm just going with the hearts. I know it's not a lovey-dovey thing, but sure, who cares? That will do the job. Now I'm just going to put this away. That's all the stamping involved in this particular card. It's really one for using up your scraps, to be honest with you. So I'm just putting a wee bit of glue at the bottom there. And just make sure where the opening of your box is going to be opening this way, so make sure that this sits so that you're able to read it, you know, not upside down, in other words. Now we're just going to put our box together. Oh, there's one more thing before we go any further. On this part you want to scoop out a wee tiny bit of a finger hole just at the very edge there on the actual card part, not the paper. So center it and just knock it out. And that gives them something to grip when they're opening their candle. So I'm going to form the bottom of the box, which is here, and this is going to sit like so, and that comes over the top. So put glue on 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. And just make up your box, lining up those corners nicely. So that gives you your nice wee shape, and then you want to do the same at the top. At the top, because you don't need as much bulk, I'm going to just chop off a wee tiny bit of these. You just don't need it. Why does that always land inside? So put glue on these 2 points here. And you could put your wee candle in. It'll hold the other thing nice and safe. Then put your lid down, round your box, and then just press. And that should give it a good, nice, good, firm close. Just push your bits in so that they take nicely. And that gives you your nice wee box. Bit of candle hanging out. So now we want to make that wee knob on the end for helping you to get a grip of it. Just gives you a nice wee grip. And what I did was punch out, where's the card? Don't think I've left a piece of card out. Hold fire. Got some. So I'm going to punch 5 half-inch circles. Again, you can just go with a wee square or whatever punch you have. Hearts or anything would do, but just do 5 of them. And then we're going to join them all together. Leave 1, join 4 together, just to build them up, you know. So a bit of glue, pop it on top, and then lift it and just make sure that they're nicely taken. Add another one. Just make sure they all line up is what I mean. Oops. Ooh, come on. You can do it thicker if you want. It's entirely up to yourself. Just gives it like a wee drawer opening nearly. Attract a bit of attention since the rest of it's so plain, you know. So that's 4. I think I did 5. Yeah, the 5th one would be there. So we'll let those sit for a minute. For this one, you want to punch a hole in the center. Well, not punch a hole, stab a hole. Sort of in the center if you can. And then we'll want to put a wee brad in of whatever shape you have. I think this one is going to be too wide from a closure, so I'm going to double check it. I'd say the legs is going to stick out a wee bit, so I'm going to get my wire cutters or jewellery cutters, whatever you call them. These things that'll chop off a bit, hopefully. Oh, it's not liking it, it's not. No, it's bending it. I'll maybe do one leg at a time. It's maybe too much for it. Oh. This is not easy, sure it's not. I'm sure I'm out of camera, but I need to see what I'm doing here. No, No, it's not going to come, unfortunately. And I know when I push them out, it's going to be way over. And if I double it up, it's going to be annoying. So I'm going to look for a smaller brad. Right, so I found a wee rose gold one, and you can see the legs just come out to that 1/2 inch. That's what you need to be careful of. I didn't want to bend them over and bulk them up because it just gets out of hand and it won't glue nicely to your base. So if your wee pile that you had, add a lot of glue this time in the centre so that it holds that brad in place for you. Just make sure they're all lined up and give it a good squeeze. Just takes a wee bit of time for that to take. What I did the last time was use a few wee clamps. It does leave kind of a wee mark on it, so if it bothers you, don't do this. But I wanted to make sure that it was definitely taken. So that helps if you leave that for a second. Excuse me. And then it's just going to be parked here on top of your box, your opening of the box. So it's really plain, isn't it? There's not much to it. But if you're making a load of these, like I probably will give out about, I'd say 20 this month. So I need something quick and easy to make. Now, have you taken? If you're happy with it, I'm going to scoot on rather than keeping you. If you're happy enough, it usually takes very quick. Then you just add glue to the base and stick it in place. That's a poet and I didn't know it. Oops. So hopefully that's enough glue to add that on, and just go to the front of your box and set it so it still gives you room for that wee hole there. And just let that take, and that is your wee box done. Something so tiny could take up so much time, huh? So just make sure it takes, I'm moving mine about like it's a spaceship. Right, I think that's it. So be sure and check out the new catalogue. If anyone needs a new catalogue, give me a shout. I have just posted out a load there. So if I can always order more. I think I have sent away my last one actually. But I can order more if that's what you want, and I'll happy to help you out. Catch us all again later, and thanks for watching again. Bye.